Hey guys, welcome to my new video series that I plan to make. It'll just be covering how to improve as a fire mage, some fundamentals and common mistakes. This is going to be the first part, so this part is going to be focusing about SKB sequences. So SKB sequences are basically what you want to cast during your SKB. It'll be a sequence of 6 GCDs, give or take, depending on your haste. As long as you're above 25% haste, you can fit 6. And you won't be able to fit 7 until 50%. So it's just 6 as far as we know so far. Whenever you're in an SKB, you're going to be pressing the exact same buttons every single time ever that you're applying the SKB. And what you press depends on your heating up or non-heating up situation when you start the cast. So first things first, to kind of draw some common lines. Both with heating up SKB and non-heating up SKB, we're going to be pressing Fire Blast at some point during the hard cast to refresh our Feel the Burn, right? Now what happens after that depends on what your situation is. So if you start with a heating up SKB, so you have heating up, you press Fire Blast, now you have a hot streak. You're going to do Pyro Pyro, so you just use up your hot streaks that you have. After you've used up your hot streak, you do one filler combo, which is just the Scorch, Fire Blast, Pyro, Pyro. Just do one filler combo. And then you'll have basically like under 1 second left, so you just throw out a Fire Blast, Pyro. Right? To show you a visual representation of this, we'll see it over here. So I get my heating up right, I start my hard cast, I have a heating up. I'm going to press Fire Blast to refresh, feel the burn. You can see my timeline over here. Then I'm going to do Pyro, Pyro, then one filler combo. And then you see here I have very little left in combust, so I just Fire Blast Pyro, because I couldn't have fit in anything else. Right? The other part is a non-heating up SKB. So this is where you start with no heating up, and then you're going to press Fire Blast during the cast. And then after this Fire Blast, you're going to do Scorch, Pyro, Pyro, into Scorch, Fire Blast, Pyro, Pyro, which is like a filler combo. Essentially here, this is just 2 filler combos back to back, except for this first one, we're doing the Fire Blast before the Scorch instead of after the Scorch, just to refresh Feel the Burn. Because if we do it here, we might drop it, but if we do it here, it's the exact same thing, right? Like hot streak wise. To show you a visual representation of that, I'm going to generate my SKBs on this VOD. So you see here I have no heating up, so I'm going to start my Pyro cast. I'm going to press Fire Blast in the middle of the cast, into Scorch, Pyro, Pyro, and then Scorch, Fire Blast, Pyro, Pyro. So these are basically the 2 sequences. Like I said, you do it every time. The most common mistakes that I find is people messing up, well, both of them. The top one is a bit more intuitive, and people do most of this right. What people oftentimes miss out is this Fire Blast, Pyro at the end. Really important. So make sure you're getting these in with the heating up SKB. And then this is the one that I see messed up by far the most, and even like very experienced players mess this up because they're just not aware. This especially happens with PvM plusers and PvPers or people who are not used to playing Mage. The common mistake here is that people will hardcast a Pyro, do a Fire Blast in between, like in the hardcast, and then they will just wait for the Pyro Blast to land, and then they'll do Pyro, and then they'll do some other stuff. We don't want to wait for the Pyro to land, because if you do that, you're essentially AFK in this time where you could be casting a Scorch, right? So what that might look like for them is like, I'm going to treat and press combustion because I don't have SKB, but imagine like this. People will do something like this. And then they'll go into like that, you know, they'll wait for it. But you can see here there's a gap, right? And we don't want this gap. And the way you can tell whether you did an SKB correctly or not is by the number of stacks and heating up situation that you have after the stacks. So in a non-heating up SKB, you'll always end with 4 and heating up. Right, so you finish 4 and heating up, and you only use 2 Fire Blasts during. Very important, only 2 during. 1 during the hardcast and 1 during the, during the combo itself. And then for heating up SKB, you'll basically end with a 5 SKB stacks and the heating up, but you'll end up using 1 more Fire Blast, so you use 3. right? So you see here I ended with 5 and heating up, but I did use 3 fire blasts throughout, 1 in the hard cast and 2 in the sequence. That's basically it. Make sure you practice this. This is super, super, super important for your fire gameplay. I kind of think of this as like the building blocks of your rotation. How well you do your SKBs, and you like for example, not messing up your combos, not messing up like by overusing your fire blast or underusing your fire blast, things like that, not generating enough SKB stacks in your SKBs themselves. That will make things like bridging and all that significantly harder. So really focus on nailing these sequences down. Just hit a dummy, build stacks, do an SKB, build stacks, do an SKB, build stacks, do an SKB. Screw combustion, screw all of that. Just practice those combos until they become muscle memory, and then you can weave in the rest of the gameplay afterwards in a real session. I hope this video has helped. If there's any questions or confusions, make sure you check out my Discord. I post a lot there. My written guide is over there. Yeah, if this video has been helpful, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Join my Discord channel. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.